Hello, everybody. Welcome to DraftKings. My name is Tyrone Atkins. I am your host. And we are looking at Week 5 of the English Premier League. And we're looking at certain matches. And here's a match here that's going to be of particular interest to one of our regular panel members. It's going to be Jamie, of course, because it is Crystal Palace at home to Stoke. So let's start with Edo. Edo, how do you see this game?
This is Stoke's worst start to the Premier League season in a long while. I believe in 4 years. It hasn't... Actually, no. If they lose this week, it will be 4 defeats in 4. That hasn't happened in, I believe, 4 years. And yeah, they're looking quite dreadful at the moment. Well, what's really worrying is that you saw some signs of good play against Spurs and against Manchester City. But then, for some reason, they always get caught with their pants down on the counter. And they give away a lot of cheap and easy goals. Against City, for example, Aguero got a header. He was completely unmarked. Shawcross hacked someone down in the box. Against Tottenham, again, once they let Tottenham counter them, that game could have gone, I'm not saying either way, but it could certainly have seen Stoke scoring at least once. And then all of a sudden they just lost control of the game and Spurs ran away with it. I'm quite worried about them because in terms of talent, you go, wow, Stoke are buying some really cool players, some clever buys as well. You consider Arnautovic, Shaqiri, Imbula looks pretty good. But I don't know, for the last, if I'm not mistaken, Tottenham's first goal, or first big chance rather, sorry, Joe Allen just fell asleep and allowed basically Ali to run outside the box and flash a shot. Allen had just completely, zoned out almost when he was supposed to be running at him, and then Shawcross yelled at him and went, what on earth are you doing? That was your guy. Yeah, and Palace got their first win. You got Benteke. I'm going to go with Palace edging this 1-0.
Okay, it's interesting because Stoke look incredibly vulnerable for a team that over the years have built up quite a solid reputation at the back, holding teams out and then killing them on the counter themselves. They're shipping in goals, and what happened last week against Tottenham was very, very surprising.
And Arnautovic has been bilged as well, actually, if I may say so.
Bilge is an interesting word. That means not very good. So, Stoke are vulnerable, and they're playing a team that is on the ascension, it seems. They're playing a team called Crystal Palace that's supported by this smiling gentleman here. He's a season ticket holder. He's going to be there live and in effect. How do you see this game going?
This is a super Sunday, isn't it, from Sky? Yeah, again. Palace v Stoke. He's got quite, I think Pardew's got quite a good record against Hughes. And this is the game where Balassi and all the others got injured and we went on that horrible run, which we were pretty much still in at the moment because we've only won 3 in 22, I think it is this year. But this was the last win before that set in last season. I think the problem with Hughes is he does being Alan Pardew badly because he's going on his run early on in the season, which you don't do. Like if you ask Alan Pardew, you make sure you get to like October and you're not in the relegation zone, and then you start playing badly. But Stoke, I think they're getting unfairly criticised from some angles because they have played City and they've played Spurs. These are two of the best attacking teams from last season. They have got thumped, but the City game, I thought they were unlucky because there was some really bad refereeing in that game. I hate going back to refereeing, but some of the standard of it this season has been very poor, and they were hard done by in that game. And Hughes is someone that comes out and has a go at the refs quite often. Yes. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he always gets banned because the refs are bad in their games. He's not lying. But saying that, Arnautovic has been absolutely awful, and I think Palace will be really buoyed by that win last week. Wilf looks really good now that the transfer window's gone. Townsend's still scoring DraftKings points by the dozen, even though he doesn't get any assists or goals. He has one of the highest tackle counts in the whole league, which is really weird. I tell that to people who support Spurs, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" But yes, he does. But yeah, I think Boney could be a factor here because he scored twice against Palace before in over 4 games. And I've seen him score a good couple of goals against us before. I'm going to say we're going to edge it 2-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 1-0 just because we're not as good at home as we are away. And last week was an away game and we played really well. Home games, we tend to go into our shell a little bit more.
Well, we'll see. It's interesting because one of the things I saw of note was that Zaha actually put a cross in.
Yes. And
Benteke then used his head to put in the goal. And so this is the way forward for Palace now.
This is 100% the way forward because we don't... Yeah, it's definitely... Why would you buy Benteke otherwise?
Well, no, that's it. But it's great that you're getting your wingers to actually assist.
It's good to see Zaha get an assist because he struggled to do that a lot. And it was also good to see Balassi get an assist for Lukaku with a header. So it shows that maybe it was the fact that we had no strikers that could put the ball in the back of the net, which is why they were getting no assists.
He's doing well at Everton, isn't he, actually, Balassi?
So far, so good.
Wait until they're not on TV. That's all I'll say.
Well, so far, so good for that guy who plays for a team that we're not talking about. But nonetheless, There's plenty of players on offer here. That's right. There is Zaha, there is Benteke, there is Townsend, who's big scoring, and you've also got Boney, you've also got Shaqiri on the other side. So many players. They're not the only players this weekend you can pick. You can select players from every single match from Week 5 of the English Premier League. Put them in your DraftKings team. That's right, $50,000 budget. You can win big. Play your friends, play the world. It doesn't matter. Welcome to the big time.